Yeah, it's Femi Adisa here again, the Biblical Billionaire, and today I want to introduce you to some businesses that I think that you should own. Own a part of, or if you have enough money to buy the entire company, go ahead and do that. Why? Because these businesses are really going to blow up in the future. You see, what we have right now is called Web 3.0. That's, it's fast developing. Web 3.0 is an advanced version of Web 2.0. Web 2.0 had big players like Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and co. But Web 3.0 is much bigger and better. I'm telling you guys, with Web 2.0, you could just create content and put on these platforms. But with Web 3.0, you can create your own platform, create your content, and own it. All right. If you don't know what the metaverse is, you can just go ahead and click that link. I'm going to put a link there. So go ahead and click it, and then you can, go ahead and see what the metaverse is. I've done a video about that already, so I'm not going to go into that. But you see, with the metaverse coming up, what we have is similar to when Facebook just started out. Imagine you met Mark when Facebook was just starting, and you bought only 10% of the company. You bought it at I don't know how much it was then, but you bought at a ridiculous price. Today, that your stake would be worth billions of dollars. It's exactly the same thing that is happening now. So I think every wise investor, every wise business person will position themselves right for Web 3.0. There are different kind of companies that are going to be really making it big in Web 3.0 because it's a whole new world being started, a whole new, platform being created. All right, so we're going to have immersive hardware. There's going to be the haptic touch technology, which is already being developed. In fact, Facebook already announced their haptic gloves in November of last year. That's in the metaverse, I can touch you and feel that touch here. All right, in the metaverse, I can give someone a handshake. So there are companies that create this kind of hardware, this immersive hardware that really help us to immerse into the metaverse. All right, there's also the 3D creation software companies. So these companies help to create 3D images and all that. They are the softwares that you can use. They have the softwares rather that you can use to create these 3D images. These companies are really going to blow up because in the metaverse it's all 3D. There's also the interactive platforms. All right, so the interactive platforms are, the virtual worlds themselves, how we interact in the metaverse, the virtual worlds and all that stuff. The spaces where people are going to be meeting in the metaverse. Then there's the semiconductors. These are the guys who will create the chips because computers will have to be, much more powerful in order to support 3D streaming and, just metaverse interactions and all that. So there are the semiconductors who create these platforms for people to use. Then there's connectivity. All right, so because internet connection will have to be stronger and better for it to support and help people to connect in real time in the metaverse. Okay, and then there's also security because by the time people are now enjoying it and everybody is immersed in the technology, you will need to protect your identity, protect your money, protect your wallet, protect all your your belongings. So these are companies, these are areas, industries that will be benefiting big time. So it's cyber security now, not the security man at your gate. All right, cyber security. So these are companies or industries that will be benefiting big time from the metaverse. So it is wise for any investor right now to buy shares in companies that are working in this space. All right, I'm going to tell you some of those companies so that you know what to look out for. So I'm telling you about the entire industry, but I'm just giving you examples. I'm not saying that this is exactly what you should buy. The thing is, the industry is going to blow up. So it's likely that if you buy exactly what I'm saying, it will blow up, but it's not guaranteed. Nothing is ever guaranteed in the business world, okay? All right, so number one company that I think that you should buy shares at is Meta, formerly Facebook. All right, so Facebook is practically relaunching, and you can see that with them even changing their name. So we are having a new Facebook, so to say, now being called Meta. The good thing about this is Facebook having over 2 billion subscribers and having the kind of influence and reach that they have, the moment they launch their metaverse platforms, it's going to go really big and wide. So if you think that the Facebook shares right now is expensive, you don't know anything yet. It's about to go higher. It's about to increase. So if you can buy shares in Facebook, and you don't have to buy $1,000 shares today or tomorrow, you can just buy $10 every week, $10 every month, $100 every month, depending on how much you have. Just make sure that you are positioned in that place, because 5 years from now, I'm telling you, 10 years from now, you could be telling your children that you knew about this whole metaverse thing, and then they'll be looking at you and like, what did you do about it? How did you profit from it? All right, so you need to buy shares. You can buy shares in Meta. I think that's going to be the biggest, or one of the biggest metaverse platforms, apart from the gaming platform. The gaming platforms are really going to become really big. But with Facebook, with what Facebook already has, starting all over again with the kind of assets that they already have, especially with the connections that they already have, I believe that it's going to be really big. So go ahead and buy shares in Meta. All right, then there is the Unity software application or Unity software platform. All right, so Unity software boasts that almost all the 3D creations and all that stuff were made with their softwares. All right, so they say that about more than half, about 3/4 even, is actually from them. So if almost every web developer or programmer is going to use their software, it means that their sales would really go up. They will be very much relevant, and what's going to happen? Shares will go up. All right, so I think that you should really look out for this particular company, Unity Software. I think that you should buy shares from them. So all you have to do is look for a brokerage firm, register with them, and then you'll be able to buy shares through them, in any of these platforms. So the Unity software platform is a very fantastic one that you should look out for and buy shares at. Then there's NVIDIA also. NVIDIA is also a 3D creation software app. They are also like the second leader after Unity software. So you can look for them and buy shares in that company too. So the good thing about NVIDIA is that even though they are not the leading software developing app, because of their very good graphics processing units, I feel they're still going to really cash out in the period. I mean, they may not be leader in one sphere, but they're the leader in another sphere. So they are really going to really be good. So go ahead and buy shares in this company. Own a part of these companies that I'm telling you about, man. Yeah, then there's ROADBLOCKS. ROADBLOCKS is already one of the big metaverse platforms. I mean, big artists, I don't want to mention their names, are already doing, shows on Roblox. So Roblox is already a very big, space, an interactive platform where people are going to meet. But not just Roblox now. Roblox is great, but then there's Decentraland, there's Sandbox, and all these other metaverse platforms. And of course, when Meta also creates their own, and when Microsoft creates their own. So these are really big. Another one that you should look out for is Microsoft also. By the time they create their own metaverse, they already have a lot of assets in the industry. I mean, it's Bill Gates, it's Microsoft we're talking about here. So by the time they create it, I think that you should buy shares in that company also. And then finally, it may be difficult to choose which of these companies you want to buy shares at. But one major thing that you can do is to look for an ETF. So there are metaverse ETFs that you can look for. So an ETF is a conglomeration of different companies. So all these companies I've talked about, they are under some of these ETFs of different companies in a particular industry or in a particular space. If you buy shares there, then you have invested in all those companies. You've spread your investment in all those companies. So it's usually very safe. The interest rate is low, but it's the safest of all because you're not gambling. All right. Although you must understand that there are fees, with the ETFs, there are fees, and you need to read around it. I don't have a video about that, but just read around ETFs. If you want to be the safest, just look for one of those ETFs and invest with it. All right, so there's one called Round Hill Ball Metaverse ETF. All right, so that's just one of them. Okay, go ahead and just look for them. So you need to buy shares in these companies to position yourself. Don't be that person that is going to say in the future that Femi told me. Don't be that person. All right, buy shares in them. It doesn't matter how small. $100 could become $1,000 in 2 months. I'm telling you guys. The moment something is announced, everything just changes. All right. So the moment Meta, for example, announces that their metaverse platform is ready for people to hop on, everything they change. All these other companies are also going to be impacted by that. All right. So if you can, please make sure that you buy shares in these companies. Now, in the Biblical Billionaire Club, we have platforms like this where we can introduce you to a brokerage firm, and then they help, because we are not brokers ourselves, they help to buy the shares for you. So we have those arrangements for investments and all that stuff. If you want to be a part of the Biblical Billionaire Club, it's absolutely free of charge to join the club. So all you have to do is click the link in the description, join the Biblical Billionaire Club, and then I'll see you over there, where we'll be talking a lot more about, you know, these ETFs, talking a lot more about these companies, about investing in them, talking a lot more about NFTs and the metaverse in general and business in general, just basically raising billionaires. All right, so if you want to be a part of this billionaire club, go ahead and click the link in the description below. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.